So many of the reviews I've put out on this channel concerning the Old Testament have involved me using phrases like, I feel very conflicted about this book and pretty much the entire Old Testament in general. However, the book of Ruth, it's a little different. So the book of Ruth takes place somewhere around the time of the Judges, and we don't know exactly who wrote the book. It's kind of unknown. There's speculation that it may have been Samuel, but there's also speculation that the book was written after Samuel's death, which would mean that it couldn't have been Samuel. We don't really know exactly who wrote Ruth. It's a very short book. It's like 4 chapters, small cast of characters. There's Naomi, and there's her 2 daughter-in-laws, Orpah and Ruth. And then there's Boaz, and there's a couple other characters, I think, but for the most part, those are main characters in the book of Ruth. And I've got to say, like, my overall impression of Ruth after just reading it, I mean, like I said, it's a very short book. You could read it in 10 minutes, like I did 10 minutes ago. I love this book. You know, even though it was so short, there was a lot that you can get out of this book. The book has a whole lot to say about, I mean, obviously it was a different society, different culture, but back in, you know, these times, if a woman, you know, her husband dies, she's widowed, then she could feasibly marry the brother of her husband. But in this case, both Ruth and her sister-in-law, Orpah, both of their husbands had died and there were no other brothers to marry, and Naomi was their mother-in-law, and so she didn't know what to do, and she told Orpah to go back to her homeland, try to make a life, and she also told Ruth to do this, but Ruth insisted that she wanted to stay and be with Naomi and help her and follow Naomi's God, which would be the God of the Bible, obviously. And it's this beautiful thing, and so Ruth and Naomi go to Bethlehem, and it's just a really, really sweet little story. They meet Boaz, and Boaz sees that particularly Ruth, you know, is a hard worker and who's worthy of attention and not being cast out. He ends up marrying her and being a kinsman redeemer. That's what Boaz essentially serves as. He's somewhat related to Naomi, and so he marries Ruth and basically takes that extended side of the family under his wing. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story about just people taking care of one another. And also the book has a lot to say. I really only highlighted one passage that I would like to read. The book has some good implications regarding like race and just not caring about it. This is verse 10 of chapter 2. At this she bowed down with her face to the ground. She exclaimed, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" And that's Ruth talking. Boaz replied, "I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your homeland and came to live with a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Point is, and I think part of the reason this is in the Bible, is this story is because you know, this book is basically saying you don't have to be a Jew to be saved, because Ruth is a Moabite. She's not of the Israelites. She's not related to these people, and yet they take her under her wing, and God welcomes her worship. And it's just a beautiful story, and I really, really, really liked it. I highly recommend that you read it. It's like a break from the it's a break from the books that involve, you know, killing everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so those are my thoughts on the book of Ruth, but now I want to know what you think of the book of Ruth. So please leave any comments, any questions you may have in the comment section below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel. And never forget to